that your own personal football hoodie from when you played?
No. It was gifted to me by the LA, the West Football. No,
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It wouldn't fit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just being honest. Any update on Kevin and do you know his status for Saturday? Or is it too early?
It's too early, but I like I said all along, you know, it's a bone bruise, so I'm anticipating him being able to go, but I don't know to the extent or how much it'll bother him or anything like that. But we'll know more after today.
And I know obviously every game is important, but in terms of the league race, how big a game is Saturday? I mean, I know they're all big, but
Oh yeah, this would be huge, you know, for us to remain in contact. You know, if you don't get this one, you're almost you know, you're still in it, but the distance and the contact and the schedule and things like that, you'd have to really pull a rabbit out of your hat. So hopefully, you know, if we're able to take care of business Saturday, it puts us back in the mix.
Bill, breaking down Houston just from the outside, the rebounding, everyone talks about the high percentage they get off of their first shot, and then also their defense.
Well, they're both exceptional, probably the best in the country in both. You know, their first shot defense, I think, is you know, the best, and then of course they defensive rebound the ball, but you know what concerns you probably the most is their offensive rebounding, keeping balls alive. They're an unbelievable back tap team. They're great at jumping and using length, and because they have some, you know, they got length up front, and to be able to elevate, you know, bodies like this, elevate and then tip the ball back out is something that, you know, back tapping is they're great at, and then they score points off of that. So yeah, we've got to be exceptional on the glass. There's no question that'll be a major key to us having success.
And then defensively, what makes them special?
Well, they're connected. You know, they fly around. They load up. They're very good ball screen defensive team, and they trap a lot. They pressure out of it, and they pressure to steal. You know, I think in league play they're averaging 8, leading the league in steals, I believe, at 8 or 8-1 or 8-2 or something like that. But over the course of the season, I think, you know, they're well over 10 a game, and they do a great job creating havoc and run you off the line. You know, they fly at you, run you off the line, and make you shoot hard twos. And yeah, it's you know, I haven't seen them when they're not turned up, and I know they'll be turned up Saturday. But they're as good defensively as any team in the country without question, and probably have been for the last 3 or 4 years.
And then El Marco and Nick, I know you talked about defense needs to get better, but overall, is it baby steps? Are you encouraged?
Defensively?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've both gotten
body
better.
work.
I think they've both gotten better, and you know, Nick hadn't made shots in the games, but you know, he makes them in practice, and we know he can shoot. And I thought El Marco the other day, the other night, I thought he showed, you know, flashes of looking much more comfortable offensively than maybe what he has thus far. So yeah, I think that those are both positives, and certainly we're going to need them both to play.
Just honing in on the rebounding a little bit, there was that stretch at the end of December, start of January, where KJ was getting 10 rebounds in each game, and now he's kind of gone back to what he was doing before that. Just, I guess, what do you think's different about those games versus now, and how do you...
You know, he just hasn't. He hadn't rebounded, hadn't gone after the ball the same way he did in those particular games. But he will moving forward, and you know, we're asking him to do a lot and play a lot of minutes and all that stuff. But that's the one area I think that he can help our team win more than any area for him is to improve in that area, and certainly he's going to need to be big in that area Saturday.
I know, for instance, last night Kentucky lost at home. I know you always talk about holding serve at home, but is that even more important this year for you guys and teams in this league to take care of business at home and try to sneak a few on the road?
Yeah, well, I've always thought that was the formula for, you know, to have a great year is, you know, you win at home and then you go 50-50 on the road and you've had a hell of a year, you know. And especially in the hard leagues, it's gonna be hard to do either one of those. But yeah, you know, that, you know, our schedule gets pretty hard. And it's been hard already, but it gets pretty hard. And you know, we need to obviously play well wherever we're playing, but playing well at home is probably just as important or more important than it ever has been, because road games are going to be at a premium as far as you know, going in there and stealing it, because you're gonna have to beat a top 25 team on the road if you're gonna win.
Looking back at Tuesday, how much do you think a game like that where guys like Omarco can get extended minutes, how do you feel like that can maybe help him in his role coming off the bench if Kevin's able to go again?
Well, I think it can help. I think it's great that those guys saw the ball go in the basket and get some confidence. You know, I guess we'll wait and find out Saturday, and we'll tell you after the game how much it helped them on Tuesday. Because you know, I don't know exactly, but you would think from a comfort standpoint, it would definitely increase your confidence level. So I think it was very good for us. We needed that.
And when you look at the backcourt for Baylor, just what are the things that stand out to you by what they offer?
For Houston or Baylor?
Sorry, Houston, I was thinking of Cryer, but
Yeah.
for Houston.
Okay, I've done that before. I think I said Syracuse the other day instead of West Virginia. So, I mean, I've done that, but, you know, you're young and so you got no excuse on that one, too. I think that they can both go get their shots. You know, LJ was really good at Baylor in doing that. I think he's taken it to a new level at Houston as far as being aggressive and getting his own shot. And you know, I haven't had a chance to coach against Kelvin's teams there at Houston, but you know, their point guard. He's a legitimate candidate for Big 12 Player of the Year, and he's averaging, you know, what's he averaging, 12 points a game? And he's a legitimate candidate for being as good a player as our league has. I mean, he's tough, he makes plays. He made one play, if you guys, against Iowa State there, where he blocked Jones's 6-foot floater, comes down with it, then makes a steal, and then goes down and lays it up, which is as athletic a play as you can make. But Shad he's good. Those two guards, you know, it would be hard to say as far as two-way players if there's a better set of guards in America as those two.
Do they look like Kelvin's old teams that you remember? Or
I'll be honest with you. I thought Kelvin's teams at OU were good. These teams are better.
Yeah.
You know, we played. Now I didn't play against Kelvin's team when they had his two assistants, Quantas and Hollis, starting in the backcourt that went to the Final Four. That was a year before I got here. So that was in Roy's last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I didn't play against that team. And the teams he had, the few years he was in the league with us after I got here, were all good teams. I mean, they're all bona fide, you know, second weekend type teams. Hey, he's played with teams for 3 or 4 years in a row that are bona fide Final Four teams. And this team certainly is as well.
I wanted to ask you too, tough question, but who's the most competitive dude you've had here? And I wanted to ask you that because I wonder how this 4 that you have right now, how do they fit into that list?
We've had so many competitive guys. You know, you look at it from recent memory. Hey, Jalen Wilson is so competitive. Never changes body language. Get a call, didn't get a call, whatever. So, you know, so locked in. And then you could say, well, what about Frank or some other ones? And going way back, we've had some unbelievably competitive players in our program. But in recent memory, I mean, it would be hard not to look past Jay Will from my standpoint.
And following that, how do these guys fit in, you know, your view of what a competitive guy is?
Oh, I think they're all competitive. I would say different levels of competitiveness. You know, some people want the ball in their heads at the end of the game. Some people always make plays for others to have the ball at the end of the game in their hands. You know, some people would be competitiveness at game point. Who do you want guarding their other guy when you know they're gonna run something for him? Others level of competitiveness may be never changing body language when things are going against you, so the opponent never knows if it's good, bad, or indifferent. There's a lot of different things that I think goes into it. I think Jay Will probably embodied it all about as good as anybody, though.
Number 4 versus 8, is this one you circled, or you think the players circled, and do you think it's as big as a game like UConn in terms of what the...
I actually think it's a bigger game than UConn. You know, the thing about UConn, it was December, the 1st of December, and that feels like a season ago. I mean, this is getting into the dog days. You know, I don't know about, you know, college football's different, because if you lose one, it could be too many. But NFL football, I don't think that the games in December feel the same way as the games in October. And I would kind of say that about college basketball too. This one will feel different. And a lot of that is because of the respect we have for Houston and how well they've done and all these things, and them coming into our league new and all that stuff. But yeah, this one, in my opinion, will feel different, just because, you know, you've got, you know, 2 of the, you know, I don't know exactly where the numbers lie. You look at the Power 6 conferences and the most successful teams over the last, you know, 5 or 6 years or whatever, they both could be playing on Saturday here in Out Fieldhouse. So this, now there's others too, but I don't think numbers lie. I mean, and how well that both of us has done over time. And so certainly I think this will be one that our players and their players both probably have circled. And you'd be disappointed if they haven't. So yeah, Connecticut was big, but Connecticut was in early December.
Anything else? Go ahead, Shane.
I was gonna ask you real quick, we asked Hunter about his kind of fiery competitiveness earlier. When he, against Kentucky, he had a big shot at halftime and displayed some emotions and stuff. Are you okay with guys playing through themselves like that and
Displaying emotions?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, just like whatever they do, whatever, like they hit a 3, they do the bow and arrow thing, or they just, when you want them to play through who they are, and like some guys might worry about, well, if I do this, coach is gonna be mad, or what if I get a T? I mean, I'm just.
Well, they can't get a T.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't want anybody not to play to who they are and play with emotion. The game has changed in this way some. You know, Bird never showed any emotion or whatever. Magic did. You know, Michael did at times. But was there a right way or wrong way for anybody to do it? I don't think there is. And so there's been certainly nothing that's been done, at least that I've seen, that I would say is being a negative whatsoever. I want guys to play to their emotional level. And as a matter of fact, I think one of the hardest things to coach are duds. Give me a guy with some emotion. And sometimes within that emotion, you know, you show more emotion when you score a touchdown than when Barry did, and he just tossed the ball to the official every time. I mean, which is a better way to do it? I think whatever fires up your team the most. And so, yeah, I've actually been fine with that. That hasn't been an issue with me.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.